Hello, Baeshapa from Paraguay. I hope everybody's doing well. So here I am working on my second text base. I'm going to be using ED Puzzle. I haven't played with it yet, so we'll see how that goes. Here are the articles that I read, and so I'm going to kind of walk you through those. First, in order to end with a crescendo, I listened to this podcast, probably just my state of mind at the time. I didn't really get anything out of it. I then also, read this article. I also really didn't get anything out of it. It was also super short. And so, yeah. And then, So this article, I did get some things out of, right? Some stats here that I found interesting. Obviously a lot of inequalities regarding to race and income, which we've been aware of since our first semester of the program, and just constantly trying to learn more about. And yeah, some of the ways that we might be able to use digital or not use technology in our classrooms. And so that was useful. I found it interesting that it said stop using technology for remediation. Meanwhile, in another article, it refuted that, but I think that dialectic is really good. I think this is probably just a really good rule of thumb. Like, just if you have a student who's in need of remediation, you shouldn't just reach out for technology for no reason. However, technologies might be of good use for remediation depending on the circumstances of the student and the remediation. And so maybe we can jump into that a little bit further down the road. And aside from that, doesn't look like I had too many other takeaways. Am I missing some? Oh no. Yeah. So what other articles did we have here? I also read this one, which went in coordination with the other, right? And it had some interesting information in here. Again, some good statistics to keep in mind, some great charts to, stow away for other points. What else did I get out of this article? Oh, I loved this infographic. I saved this. I just feel like I love thinking about effectiveness with the A through infrastructure access, and how that's not really something that I had visualized in my mind prior to reading this article. Was just how, obviously exposure affects students' ability to use these technologies, but it also, of course, is going to be affecting their affect. And so that was really cool. It's just a really great infographic. Some new vocabulary. I highlight vocabulary in red. Of course, infrastructure and access are closely related, so that has a lot to do with income inequalities, and CBI, another good vocab word to keep in mind. Some resources. I highlight resources in blue. And what else do we have? Oh yeah, so this was the interesting part of the article that just kind of delineated some of the differences in effectiveness between different types of technologies according to grade level, which is not something I'll probably keep in my mind, but something I can refer to back later, and I'll discuss that really quickly in a moment. And yeah, so resembled to instant messaging, email. Oh yeah, so that was really interesting, is that I think that's something that I want to keep in mind when I'm doing my lesson plans, is that the more that I can recreate students' natural propensities in their use of these technologies, the easier it'll be to implement, and the more they'll take away from it, the more natural it'll be, and just the more seamless it'll be. So that was useful. Got some more resources here. I really wanted to be done with this part in 5 minutes. One-to-one computing opportunities is good. Vocab, let's see. Oh yeah, and of course, and this is good news for us as educators, technology can't replace us. We are more guides and hopefully gurus in regards to implementing technology in education, and students are going to need us to be at their sides as they use technologies in their learning, and yeah. Okay, yeah, and I had a different understanding of flipped classrooms regarding how it's organized, but it is good to understand it. You know, every different school or um, approach to education, they adapt vocabulary to suit themselves. So this was a new kind of way to understand flipped classrooms for me, which is great. And then I didn't read the policy implications. I marked it in blue because it might be useful for me at a later date. So we went over that one, that one, that one, that one. Great. Did we go? Yes. Okay. So then I mentioned that, I mark these things and might be able to refer to them later. One of the ways that I do that using my computer is when I save a PDF from any of our readings, I tag things. So I can tag things, technologies, like a keyword. And then when I run a search in my computer for, whatever, I can run searches through these tags. My computer happens to be in French, but and then I can look for anything that has technology. So here are the articles that I have. I just created that tag. So those are the articles that I've noticed have technology in them, and now I can easily refer to them when I'm doing lesson planning, for instance. That's another tag, or yeah, ED 603, here's everything that has to do with the course that we've taken so far. So it's just a really easy and effective way for me to organize my brainstorm of, or my just mess of articles and work that I've done. And one of the things that I ran into when I was looking for technology in my computer was this article that I think came out of Jill's class. It came out of, 611. And it was an article regarding technology and how it can be used in differentiation in classrooms, and it has so much information. I've got it. I don't want to go through too much of it because this video is already going to be like 9 or 10 minutes long. But I would really highly suggest anybody to revisit this article. We've got like clickers would be a really great thing for me to be using in the third world because they're probably really cheap and easy to implement, hard to break, I imagine, and also even as simple as they are, they're elegant in how complex their impact can be on lessons. For instance, it highlights down here that it allows students who are quiet or shy to silently ask or respond to questions, and so that's just super useful. But then the other really cool thing about this article is that it has all of these resources laid out according to kind of activity or something, educational games, resources for CBM, which is curriculum-based measurement, information for presentation software, web pages, blogs, podcasts, digital videos and storytelling, wikis, computer simulations and virtual learning. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so one of the things that I did is that I just feel so overwhelmed with all this awesome information that I just cannot even come close to processing, nonetheless experiment with yet, is that on my website, I'm just crashing, just loading it full of these resources online so that I can have it, at the tip of my thumb, even on my cell phone, or I can, send a link to a friend. Of course, I'm going to make it look better. I've just literally been copy pasting, which I know, I need to go through and make sure that it's not plagiarizing content or what have you. But that way, it's just available on my website. I have it for easy access, and it's just a good way to catalog all of these amazing resources that, just as this article goes to prove, it was an amazing article. I'd forgotten all about it, and then through technology reconnected with it again, and so now I want to use technology to make it available to my mind and others. Peace.